My mother and father would say that too many people in this world are waiting for a perfect environment and a perfect teacher and a perfect situation and a perfect religion before they start to come home to themselves, before they come to love themselves. There's a lovely story in the East about a wise man who is having a cup of tea, and a friend of his comes and meets him, and they're sitting and having a dialogue. So the friend says to the wise man, he said, "How are you?" And he says, "I'm fine." And the wise man says, "You look very excited. How are you?" And he says, "I'm excited because I'm going to get married tomorrow." And he says, "Oh," he says, "is it a nice woman?" And he says, "Yes, she's beautiful." And so this man says to the wise man, "Have you ever thought about getting married?" And he says, "Of course I have," he said. He says, "Then what happened?" He said, "Well," he says, "the first time I was traveling, I met this beautiful woman." He says, "She was intelligent and she looked pretty as well. But unfortunately, she didn't have the same spiritual aspiration as I did. So I let her go. Then I met another woman," he says, "a few months later, who had the spiritual aspirations that I did. And she also looked beautiful, but her social etiquette was not right." And then this man says, "Then what happened?" He says, "Then one day," he says, "I was walking," he said, "still looking for this perfect woman," he said. "And suddenly I came across this beautiful place where there were people having a party. And I went in there and I sat down. And guess what?" he said, "I met this woman. She was beautiful," he said. "And she had perfect social etiquettes. Spiritually, she was on the same wavelength. And everything was right." So the man said, "Then what happened? Did you marry her?" And he says, "No." He says, "Why not?" He says, "She was waiting for a perfect man."